Ladies and gentlemen, so we have the second dungeon after the patch that's going to drop immortal gear equipment, or the tokens, or the materials we need to upgrade immortal gear. Mirage Space is a doozy at the best of times, and this is the worst of times. So in this video, we're going to try to go over Mirage Space. I don't know why I'm starting to stutter now. Mirage Space. We're going to go over Mirage Space in general, in totality, and try to help you out if we can, because along with, I'd say, Thundercliff, Battle of Azura, Mirage Space is one of the more difficult ones. I'm going to be really frank. On my bigger free-to-play account, I can get down stage 6. On this account, I can't even get down stage 6 with the heroes that I have. So, like I said, even at the best of times, which was prior to this patch, it was difficult, and now it's even harder. So I'm going to go through all the little tips and tricks that might help you. Now, one thing that maybe a lot of people that are just coming into the game and are just kind of finally looking at this, maybe people that didn't watch the initial videos didn't notice, was this is one of the only bosses that can crit. So since this boss can crit you, it gives you a couple options in play. I'm trying to see in here, right here, Lord of Shadows. All damage, all damage dealt by this boss is considered critical damage. This is, I think the only boss in the game, a PvE boss that can crit you. And because that is the case, you can do a couple things. So first, let's start with the very, very obvious one, and not the simplest one. But definitely, if you have some stuff lying around, you can do it. Let's go into guild. We're going to go into guild tech. Okay. So you're going to be using summons on this fight, right? Summoned heroes or summoners. So if you go into summoners, you see down here, crit damage reduction. All right. Let's actually see. I had almost pretty much nothing into this. So let's beef this up. And I bet you I might be able to complete this dungeon now on this account now that I've done that. So that should be the first thing you should do to give you an easier time, because that's going to mitigate the damage. If you see up here above my head, I'm currently at, what, 49%. So that right there, right off the bat, if you're having issues surviving, do this. Upgrade your guild tech for crit damage reduction. That's going to give you massive a boost in survivability in this dungeon. Now, one of the other things you can do, but this is kind of going to be a damage versus survivability play, is you can go to your summoners, and if you really, really want to, you can roll crit damage reduction helms. So I don't think I even have any crit damage reduction helms. Let's see, because I always dismiss or break down all my crit damage reduction helms. Let's see if I got some. Oh yeah, look at, see, I got some some madness pieces for Dan. I got a couple. I could, if I wanted to, I'd be losing 50% attack, but I could up his crit damage reduction. I do believe this is also, it's been so long, I think this is 50%. No, 40%. An extra 40% crit damage reduction. So whereas crit damage reduction, you see right now I have a little over 50%. I could get that up to close to 100% crit damage reduction, or close to, with adding a crit damage reduction helm. So those are the two tricks that can help get you guys by. Everything other than that is just prototypes and evolution levels, hyper evolution levels as well. So let's go into the fight. Let's see if I can do this now, because like I said, I hadn't even been able to beat stage 6 on this account. So I do have some more tickets. Let's run it. So obviously you want to run Dorally if you don't have Dora. Ideally, you want Dominant Nucleus as your first slot prototype, which increases your summons damage. Ruler's Ring is your survivability prototype. You obviously want that one if you can. Or if you don't have that one, you run this one. But as you see, I have had really, really bad luck acquiring copies of this prototype on this account. And as such, it makes more sense that I run my Ruler's Ring, which is going to mitigate the damage of the summoners to their summons. And if you get this up to a specific level, you're going to get healed off of your summon's deaths. So Ruler's Ring, Dominant Nucleus, and Flashpoint, if you don't have Revitalization Crystal, are going to be your prototypes. As you see, I don't even have a level 50 commander, but I got, what, 2 Ultimate Dan, which is good, and 1 Ultimate Sorv, which is fine. Ideally, you want all skills Ampu, plus 2 Ultimate Dan, Ultimate Sorvali, and then Dorley, if you got Dorley. But this is going to be your comp. It's going to be, obviously, these 4 summoners, Sorvali, Maz, Dan, Ampu, and then Muka, if you don't have a built-up Durali, and then Durali, obviously. I'm going to show you footage after we try this on my main account, my pay-to-win account, which is going to highlight how you can kind of blast through it once you have all the required tunes. So here we go. What we're going to do is we're going to play this the right way. So turn Dan, Ampu, and Sorvali off. If you can do this on auto, cool, blast it on auto. I can do that on my main account, but there is some tricks to be done. Actually, wait, let's pause this. Let's turn the game volume down. There we go, so you can actually hear me speak. So what you're going to want to do is when Dan's turn is up, you're going to want to drop the bear right up at the top of your screen. Way up here, okay? Why? Because that's where the Reaper deck is going to port to, and he's going to get damage from the bear. And then as soon as Ampu, you want to hold Ampu's ult until after the Reaper Deka does his little spinning pirouette of death, and then you want to ult. And same thing with Sorvali. Depending on the timing, sometimes I like to throw her heal up here, but I'm going to just put it down here just because I don't know how long it's going to be. I bet you my heal goes away before he does the pirouette. And I missed my Dan. So my Dan ult did go off. I'm going to have to hold it till next time. I am going to put Sorv on top of him now, but I am not going to unleash Dan as of yet. So I'm going to do it right now. Up top. There he goes, and he sees he's taking continuous damage from the bear. Ampu ult, Sorv, throw. Muka's going to try his best. You can time Maz's heal as well. This is so far the best run I've ever done on this account. Heal me up. Heal me up, Scotty. I'm going to get rid of the damage meter. You guys don't really need to see it. Alright. Dan Bear up there. Oh, didn't get off in time. Okay, so we're going to have to time this a little bit better then. So there. Pop you. Alright. So let's see. When do I want to do his bear? Let's do it right now. Which one's the pirouette? Is that it? Yeah, this is his pirouette timer right there. The flying thunder. So he's going to port back. Do his spin of death. Ampu ult. Sorv chuck. And then I'm just watching that pirouette of death timer again. See if we can't get Dan's ult off. Nope. Okay, we got to put Dan's ult off just a little bit quicker. Because my Dan's timer is a little bit off. There we go. 4 seconds to the pirouette. Now let's drop the bear up there. Put it right on him, which is nice. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. I'm going to wait till he ports. Looks like he's not gonna. Get in there, Muka. Thank you, buddy. Dan Bear up to the top. Boom. Right as he pirouettes. Ampu ult after port. Sorvali throw. I'm going to chuck it since he's going to port in 3 seconds. I'm putting it right there. So I'm actually going to hit him, but I'm going to hit him continuously as he teleports. But I am going to miss the Dan Bear again because my Dan is slow as balls. My Dan is obviously missing a little bit of attack speed because you're going to see when I do this on my main account, my Dan Bear is always going off right before he's about to port. So now he's going to port, so I'm going to actually chuck this up here as well. Because he's going to port into the Sore of Heal. Or Drain, I guess it's more of a Drain. But now my Sorv is going to be off one cycle. Alright. Move out of the way. There we go. And this should kill him this cycle. And he's dead. Okay. So that said, that kind of highlights how or why you should go update your crit damage reduction guild tech in the tree, because this is the first time I've ever been able to beat this. I am not going to try as hard on this account. We'll go over and we'll watch hard on my main account. Okay, let's bring my head in here. The damage meter is really not applicable. You're mainly wanting to finish this fight. So this one, like Roulette of Truth, is 2 phases. You got your first initial phase. You can't see that on my head, but it says recommend energy heroes. Energy is the natural counter to summoners or tanks as well. But the energy, specifically Jaina, they do have a lot of their stuff has built-in anti-summoner synergy. So like if you run this prototype flowing rune, if you kill 3 units, then you gain energy, and as you know, the summoners have lots and lots of summoned units. As such, it just means that the energy heroes can go and go and go and go. So use energy as best you can. I know a lot of people probably don't have Nord. If you don't have Nord, you can probably run tanks on here if you have Teresh. I could try it on my free-to-play account. I would run, you know, Zeta, Wamagon, Teresh, and Panda in the back with like Serena or a healer in the middle, and you can beat it that way too. It's just they're recommending energy, and energy is a good counter. So let's start running this through. I'm going to show you, this is my team. Like I said, I have Doralee on this team. Doralee is the preferred champion over Muka, or a preferred hero over Muka if you have him. You see everyone on this team is completely stacked. X30s across the board except for Sorv. My prototypes are maxed. Dominant Nucleus maxed. Ruler's Ring maxed. Revitalization Crystal not maxed, but still pretty good. And then you saw my commander. You can go back and look. My commander, all skills Ampu, +2 alt on Dan, and then decent attack rolls or substat rolls. So let's roll this down. Okay, here we go. So you see, energy is just going to be doing what energy does. Don't blast me too hard for my Jaina going or not having the injection. I do have a build for Luke that puts his attack just under Jaina, but I didn't switch it for the purpose of this fight. It doesn't matter for this fight, so I just ran it. Nord being Nord, doing Nord things, and then Jaina kills them all. Okay, so that's the initial, that's the gatekeeper fight. Here we go. So here, I'm going to play this, even though I can do this on auto on my main account, I'm going to play it the exact same way I just showed you on my free-to-play account. You're going to see my Dan has got enough attack speed that right before he pirouettes, every time, pretty much, I'm going to be able to get Dan, the bear, up there before he ports. Whereas you saw on my streaming account, I couldn't do that. I had to skip and wait for some cycles. Again, on this account, I am playing Ampu, Sorvali, and Dan on manual. Ampu, you want to ult him after he ports back, after this damage phase right there. So now you would fire off Ampu, boom, and you would fire off Sorv. I am leaving Maz and Dora on manual, or on auto, I mean. You could probably leave Dora and Muka on auto. A lot of people do like to play Maz's ult manually because they like to hold it for after the spin in order to heal up if people are low. Depends on your Maz, or depends on your whole team. If their damage gets really, really low, maybe consider holding Maz's ult as well and run it on manual. But you see, I've got him down pretty quickly. The damage is going to be significantly higher. Again, my account Dan is Immortal 5, Hyper 120. Ampu is Immortal 5, Hyper 120. They're both X30, and my prototypes are maxed. Of course, this is going to be easy for me. I understand that. That's why I wanted to show you on my free-to-play account first what it actually looks like. And I am probably not going to be able to beat it on either of my free-to-play accounts. That's just the nature of the beast until I get my prototypes up there a little higher, until I get Ampu X30 and Hyper-Evolved as well. It's just the nature of the game. You got to progress whatever team you want, whatever dungeon you want to beat, right? Assassins for Roulette of Truth if you want to get that material. Summoners for Mirage Space if you want to get this material, which buffs Marauder gear, which is going to help you also in the Assassin dungeon if you can take some Marauder gear to Immortal, since that's primarily what your Assassins are going to be wearing. Okay, and that's how to do it. That's it on my main account. That's it on my free-to-play account. I don't know if I can teach you guys anything else. I don't know if I can show you any more tricks. Just keep in mind one thing. Make sure you have crit damage reduction at least at 20 out of 25. Do I recommend taking it to 25 out of 25? No, I don't think that's necessary. I think as we get more stages, because keep in mind this is going up to level 12, then yeah, you're going to have that crit damage reduction maxed, and I'm probably also going to have to run crit damage reduction helms in the future. But we will find that out as we get more levels. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for how to complete Stage 7 or Level 7 of the Mirage Space. The word of the day is going to be crit damage reduction. Just put it all as one word, crit damage reduction, because that is the name of the game on how you're going to have to be able to beat this dungeon, as well as having maxed out tunes, but let's just focus on the crit damage reduction first. Okay, all right, ladies and gentlemen, crit damage reduction is the word of the day. Put that down in the comments. Thank you for coming. I will catch you in the next one. Cheers, peace. Bye-bye.